They're not second hand. They are cats that deserve a great life.
There is a bit of a stigma from having an adopted animal.
And it's giving it a home for maybe 20 years, a loving home.
So yeah, I'd say we're in a bit of a crisis.
We are a nation of animal lovers. It is estimated that nearly half of all UK households have at least one pet. But sadly, each year, over 100,000 animals go homeless, left alone, left without hope. I'm embarking on a journey to meet those who deal with homeless pets, and to meet those who have taken animals in. I want to know why thousands of animals end up in shelters each year, and whether there is a mindset against adopting a rescued animal. Join me as I travel across the south in search of what really is the cause of this rescue crisis. The first stop on my journey is to meet Woody and his owner Jackie. Woody was rescued earlier this year, and I've been invited over to see how he is getting on. I'm interested to hear about Jackie's experience adopting Woody, and whether she thinks there is a stigma around adopting rescued animals.
So when we went to see Woody at the rescue centre, they suggested that we called him Tigger because he's always bouncy into everything. He's been lovely. He's settled in really, really well. He's a bit mad. He's only a young dog, full of life. And nobody knows what to expect from a rescue dog because we don't know his past, so we don't know what's happened to him in the past or how he's been treated in the past. But he's settled in really, really well. Always pleased to see everybody. But yeah, settled in very well. Part of the family now. We got him from a local rescue centre, St Giles, and their adoption process is really easy. So they took our details, they came to our house to make sure that it was all okay, we had a secure garden, that it was a good home for him, and everything else was just paperwork, filling in paperwork, but very, very easy, very simple. And maybe there is a bit of a stigma from having an adopted animal, but when we got Woody and we took him out for a walk, then our neighbours who don't have adopted animals, they couldn't believe that we got such a lovely dog from the rescue centre, and they didn't know that the rescue centre was full of dogs like Woody.
The one thing I noticed about Woody is that he is exactly the same as every other dog I've met. You wouldn't know he's come from a rescue centre. Now, Jackie mentioned he came from a centre called St Giles, which is based out near Langport in Somerset. I reached out to them and they've agreed to meet me and to tell me a little bit more about what they do.
Myself and my husband Bill own St Giles Animal Centre. We've been here now for 8.5 years. And obviously we are passionate about animals and rescue and our boarding, all the different aspects of here at the centre. And we're here, we've got some very big charities around us. We are only a very small privately owned charity, where we are very fortunate. We've got a fantastic team of staff here who are totally dedicated and work extremely hard, and I mean extremely hard, under sometimes very difficult conditions. We've also got some fantastic fundraisers and trustees who basically are so supportive of the work we want to do here. However, we are very lucky with the supporters that we have on Facebook and locally, how people rally round as soon as they heard or hear we're taking in a big influx of dogs. You know, people are very, very supportive of us, so we're lucky. I think there probably still is a stigma. Yes, I think a lot of people want to go out and buy a specific breed of dog, and that's always going to happen because people have got their favourite breeds. You're not going to avoid that, but what you can find in rescue centres now is those breeds. Where once upon a time, when we first came here, our rescue was probably full of Staffies and Lurchers and Jack Russells. We have dogs of every breed here at the moment, and usually we can help people to find what they're looking for. The problem is, I think sometimes people feel that they know a particular breed, and I think you've got to be a little bit more open-minded. And once you go to a rescue centre, you take that first step and you go in, and you're probably going to fall in love with a breed you hadn't even thought about. However, that will be the right dog for you because you choose each other at the end of the day.
Most rescues that you find will be, brimming with different kinds of dogs or different kinds of breeds. Like, here we've got Jack Russells, Lurchers, German Shepherds, Collies, you name it. We have a variety of different breeds, and for a variety of different reasons. And as was mentioned earlier, pre-Christmas, sometimes we get a chuck out of dogs with the older that need medical attention. Stray dogs, we get a lot of stray dogs in as well that are just being unfortunately not unable to be reunited with their owners. And then within January we might see a flurry of dogs come in as well for different reasons. So yeah, I'd say we're in a bit of a crisis, and we need funds, hence why we have a big fundraising team, just to make sure that we've got access to funds so we can treat all these animals.
What I've learnt so far is that charities like St Giles rely heavily on fundraising and volunteers. But what about the thousands of cats that need a new home every year? I contacted Cats Protection, who very kindly invited me down to the Taunton and Wellington branch. They've given me a look at what they do and how they rehome cats in their area.
Right, the work we do is to help cat owners, obviously. We take in cats which we then rehome. We support the neutering of cats because Cats Protection philosophy is that cats should be neutered both for health and progeny reasons as well. We're also very keen on education for the general public about the cat care, cat matters, and where possible we try and get into schools as well to speak to the younger generation to encourage them to understand the world of cat and animal welfare. I don't think a stigma for adoption is perhaps the right word. People, I think, that want to adopt a cat know they're getting a quality product, for want of a better expression. I don't really think there is a stigma about it. It's been said that some people don't want a second-hand cat. They're not second-hand. They are cats that deserve a great life.
My journey now takes me to West Sussex, where I've been lucky enough to meet Angela Collins, who runs the Ibethan charity Care for Cats. They help to rehome many Ibethan cats to Europe and the United Kingdom each year. I hope to understand more about why tourists choose to adopt cats from Ibiza and how, by doing so, they save the cat's life.
I run a charity called Care for Cats in Ibiza, and I started it after a holiday in Ibiza in 1999. A lot of the time we get approached by tourists in Ibiza who are staying at a hotel, of which there are thousands of hotels, and they've fallen in love with a stray cat that they've been feeding for a week or 2 weeks, and they want to, I know, if we can help them get it to England. So of course we say yes, because that's the best chance these cats have got of a life, is if they're adopted. But if they find a cat in Ibiza, maybe they've got cats at home, they don't need another cat. And if they were living in England, they wouldn't get another cat. But because we're on holiday, they've fallen in love with this poor little soul that is so reliant on them for a whole week or 2 weeks, that how can they abandon it? And so therefore, to adopt it and take it home is saving its life, for one thing, and it's giving it a home for maybe 20 years, a loving home. So how can you refuse to help people who want to do such a kind thing?